Great. Hello and welcome in to beginner strength training. My name is Jen. I am so excited for this class. I have been looking forward to it since I laid out my first schedule to get started with Jen Avery Wellness. This is a very beginner's strength class using dumbbells. For today's session, I recommend that you have a bench if you have one handy, and also a mat, because we will be moving into a supine position. If you have a step, that can also work. And if you don't have a bench, then you can just lay on the floor. That's completely fine. So a bench is not required, but it is recommended. For your dumbbells for today, I recommend having a range of light dumbbells. For me, that means I'll be using 15 pounds. I also have 10 pounds and 8 pounds so that I can switch out when I need to. I recommend choosing a dumbbell weight that's going to challenge you. And if you're just beginning, that might mean 10 pounds, it might mean 8 pounds. I really don't recommend going lower than maybe 5 pounds, even if you're a very beginner, because that will probably be a bit too light for just about everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. I am going to put on some music and we'll jump into an unweighted warm-up. As we move through our workout for today, I'll make sure that we have plenty of rest between sets so that you can catch your breath, and we'll do some active stretching. Let's jump in. Feel free to say hello in the chat. If you're joining us today, I'd love to hear from you. All right, let's go. Perfect. Starting with a little warm-up. You can come to a standing position here. We're just going to begin to flow through the body, moving gingerly from side to side, rotating through the toes. Good. Let's take a side bend here, bending into the left side body. And switching that to the right side, just opening up through the side body. Coming back to center, taking some arm circles to the back of the room. And reversing it. Wonderful. Taking our hands down to our knees, coming into a flat back position. And now arching through the upper back and lowering back down. Let's do one more like this, rolling all the way up to the top here. Let's take one foot behind us for a quadriceps stretch, coming into a static stretch here for the front of the body. And switching sides. Feel free to use a wall here to stabilize you if you need it. Opening that chest nice and wide. Clasping hands behind your back for a nice chest stretch here. Great. Keeping your arms in this position, taking a full forward fold, letting those hands just fold right out. Perfect. Rolling all the way back up. Let's go ahead and jump right in to our session for today. We have a full body workout. We'll be hitting all major muscles with simple movements, with plenty of instruction about form and everything. Each exercise today will be comprised of 3 sets. We're going to start very slowly, and the last set will be a little quicker. Right. When you're ready, go ahead and grab your dumbbells. If you have a bench, you can take a seat on it. If you don't have a bench, you can stay standing up. Moving into some overhead press is going to target the shoulders today. We're going to take those dumbbells up, bending our arms at 90 degrees and moving our elbows slightly forward. So we're not opening all the way through the chest like this. Want to make sure you can see your elbows in your periphery. Got it? All right, now let's tune into the music here. We're gonna lift for 2 and lower for 2. Here we go. Lift. Bracing through the abs here. Moving nice and slow. As your dumbbells come down, notice that your elbows stay lifted at shoulder height. So you're not dipping those elbows low, you're keeping them high. Wonderful. We're halfway done with this first set. Nice and controlled. We've got 2 more right here. Breathing, exhaling on the effort. Perfect. Our last one here. Very nice. Let's take those weights all the way down. We're taking a rest here, giving yourself some time just to get the blood back into the muscle. Moving the arms in a way that helps them to feel some freedom from that work. Wonderful. Let's pick up those weights again. Moving on to our second set here as we push and lower. Keeping our elbows nice and high. Great. Making sure that we can see our elbows in the periphery. And zipping up through the core. Very good. Nice and controlled. Remembering to breathe. This is our last one here. And taking a rest. I'm going to switch out here to my 10-pound weights. Just getting some blood flow, releasing through the shoulders. Taking a big breath. Good. We're going to move into one more set of overhead press. This time, the pace is going to be faster. Listening to the music. Rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. When you're ready, coming into your position. We've got 8 singles here. Press. Press. Great. Last 2. Well done. Taking the weights all the way down. Let's take a shoulder stretch. Stretching that left arm across the chest, releasing through the shoulder and switching sides. Moving into the legs and the glutes next. We're taking a wide-legged squat. So go ahead and find a position with your legs that is wider than your shoulder, right? And you're going to turn your toes and your knees about 45 degrees out. No matter what, make sure that your knees and toes are pointed in the same direction. We're going to keep our weights here, right resting on our quadriceps. We'll come down for 2 and lift for 2. Join me. Wonderful. On this squat, you're sending your hips far back. Shoulders are rolled back. Smooth and controlled here. Stay with it. Down for 2 and up for 2. Wonderful. Making sure that your knees never extend out past your toes. Perfect. Let's take a little break here. Shake out those legs. Get the blood flowing in them. Beautiful. Now, before we do our second set, I just want to show you from the side. As you come down into your squat, see how my back is fairly straight here? Straight from the glute all the way to the cranium. That is what you want, right? So those hips are going way back, like you're trying to sit on a chair that isn't there, that you never quite reach. All right, let's get into the position again. Wide-legged squat. Down for 2. Lower. And lift. Taking your time. Very nice. We're halfway there. We've got 4 more squats here, really pushing those hips back. You've got 2 more here. Thank you for your donation on YouTube. Appreciate it. Well done. Go ahead and shake those legs out again. Maybe taking a couple knees toward the chest. Letting it go. We've got 1 more set of wide squats. We're going to pick up the pace for this next set with singles. When you're ready, finding that position, rolling your shoulders back. Nice, proud chest. We'll wait for the music. Here we go. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. 4 more. Keep that form strong. Perfect. All right. Taking those weights down. Let's take a stretch for our hips here. Taking the feet together and just dropping your hip to one side will do the trick. And switching sides. Releasing through the glutes here. Coming up next, we've got an alternating bicep curl, moving into the 2 muscles in the front top of the arm. Standing up for this one. Feet are hip width apart. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. I'd like you to go ahead and tuck your elbows into your side body, toward the back of the side body here. Now the trick is to really not move those elbows much. So for example, rather than coming up like this, right, you're going to keep that elbow tucked so that you're coming up like this. Perfect. We're going to do an alternating bicep curl with a wrist rotation. So it looks just like this on the 2 count. You ready? Let's go. Moving really slow here. Staying with this slow and controlled pace. Checking your elbows, making sure that they are staying right by your side like a good friend. Yeah, nice and controlled on the lift and on the lower. Engaging the core by pulling your belly button toward your spine. And breathing. Exhaling on the ascent of those weights. Perfect. Let's do 4 more on each side. Nice. You'll notice that much of your body isn't really moving here, just the arm. Just that lever. Wonderful. We've got 2 more on each side, staying with this slow and controlled pace. Beautiful. I know you've got 1 more here on each side. And let's take a rest, putting our weights down, opening through the chest, moving those palms to the back of the room and back to the front, just rotating through the arm here. Go ahead and grab your weights. We're going to move into a second set. Here we go, as we lift nice and slow and lower controlled. Beautiful. Squeezing those elbows in toward the torso. really feeling the initiation of those two muscles in the front top part of the arm, the biceps. Great. Let's pick up the pace here for singles, shall we? Listening to the music. Here we go. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Stay with this quicker pace. But notice that you are always in control. And the arm is never swinging. And the elbow is never leaving your side, right? Well done. Stay with it. Last two. Great. Take a little rest. Taking those arms wide. Twisting the hands forward and back. We've got one more set of bicep curls. We've got the single pace. Here we go. Lift. Lift. Great job. Make sure that you're breathing heartily. We're moving with the rhythm of the music. You can hear it. Beautiful. We've got 4 more on each side. Great job. Go ahead and put those weights down. Stretch it out one more time. Take a little breather here. Moving into the back next, the back body with some deadlifts. Now deadlifts can be a little tricky, so I want to go over a couple things with you. Make sure your feet are right under your hips, right? That's really important. Of course, as always, chest is open, shoulders are rolled back and down. We take the dumbbells to the front, palms facing inward, and we're going to descend with those dumbbells down the quadricep to right below the knee, and then we're going to ascend back up. So join me. Here we go, down for 2, lower, and lift. Now on the descent, you want to keep those dumbbells close to your body. Your glutes are moving all the way back, and your back remains flat. Your knees are slightly bent or quite a bit bent, and you're staying in control. Great. Knitting those shoulder blades together and keeping your head in alignment. Great. Last one here. And take a breather. Great job. Taking those hands out in front, rounding through the upper spine, shaking it out in the upper back, releasing. All right, we've got 2 more sets of deadlifts coming at you. Getting into the right position, always inhaling that chest open. Yeah. Down for 2 as we lower. And lift, nice and smooth. Stay with this pace, sending those hips far, far back. Yeah. Pressing through the heel, pressing through the ball of the foot, the whole foot. 4 more here, last 4. Last 3. Only 2 more. You can do this. Use your breath. Slow and controlled breath. Perfect. Taking a little break here. Rounding through the spine. And getting into the low back here as we curl over those legs, dropping the head. rolling all the way up. Our last set here as we lower and lift. Right, so you're not going all the way down to the floor. You're stopping right at the knee or right below the knee. Nice and controlled. Starting to feel that heat in the spine. Last one. Yes. Well done. Go ahead and iron out the spine, taking some standing twists here. Coming on to our bench next. Now, if you don't have your bench, you can use the floor. Actually, in some ways, the floor might be even better if you're a beginner because your elbows aren't allowed to go and overextend like this. Coming onto the bench or onto the floor, lying all the way back. Bending the arms to 90 degrees. Now you don't want your elbows up to your ears or even with your shoulder. Take those elbows and bring them closer to the body like this. Yeah. From here, we're gonna lift for 2 and lower for 2. Join me. Here we go. Push and lower. Now notice that my elbows never come below the top of the bench. When I push up, those dumbbells are right around my sternum level or my nipple level, yeah? Yeah. Those elbows are angling toward the back side of the room. That's right, the back side, not the side. Yeah. Stay with this pace. We're gonna do one more set right here. Nice and controlled. You're pressing that entire back into the bench or the mat. You're really not letting that low back lift up because we're not pressing heavy enough for that quite yet. So keep that whole back on the mat or the bench. Last one here. Perfect. Come all the way up to sitting, taking the dumbbells to the side, taking both hands behind you and lifting that heart. Yeah, just breathing the heart right up. So beautiful. Coming into our last set, when you're ready, rolling down. We've got singles here as we lift and lower. Lift. Staying in control of those dumbbells. Wonderful. Opening right through the chest on the descent and pushing through the chest on the ascent. Last 4, 3. Well done. Coming up to sit, opening the chest wide. Just letting that chest breathe. Chest press is such a powerful and versatile move with the dumbbells. Moving into the triceps next with a tricep press or a close grip press. We're going to take the elbows and tuck them right into the side bodies, keeping our arms at a 90-degree level. Now roll your shoulders back from here. You can feel how that feels. Keeping the palms facing each other and keeping them close, we lift for 2 and lower for 2. Getting into the tricep, the back of the arms. You ready? Up for 2. Here we go. Nice and controlled. Palms are facing each other and the elbows are grazing our side body on the way down. So our elbows stay very close. Yeah, we're keeping those weights about belly button level. So when they come back down, it's like they're even almost with the belly button. All right. Lift and lower. One more here. Perfect. Come on up to sitting. You do this on the floor too, taking a tricep stretch, squeezing that arm toward your ear, and switching sides. Coming back down, we're going to get right into the second set. Squeezing the elbows in, roll the shoulders back. Up for 2. Here we go. Push. Exhale. Inhale. Push. Exhale. Inhale on the way down. Stay with it. Can you feel those elbows grazing your ribs? Yeah, you should. Not letting your elbow ever come beneath the top of the bench. If you're on the floor, that's not a problem. Your elbow can't go through the floor, right? Perfect. Taking a break here, coming up to sitting. Giving yourself a little shake, shaking out those arms, getting the blood flow going. We've got one more set, this time of singles. Assuming the position. Now go ahead and roll those shoulders back, and I mean it. Singles. Here we go. Press. Press. Four more. Yes. Well done. Come all the way up to sitting. You can take your dumbbells off to the side. We are done with them for today. Taking a tricep stretch. Yeah. Our last exercise brings us down to the mat. So if you have a mat, go ahead and come down to it. Otherwise, just come down to the floor. Finishing off with a little glutes and core here. And then we're done. For your first beginner strength training session, taking those heels close to the butt. Lying down, we're going to lift and lower our glutes in a bridge. Looks like this. Press for 2 and lower for 2. Hovering those glutes right above the mat. Driving through the whole foot. Keeping your knees close together-ish so that they're not flailing out to the side. They're in alignment with the hips. Stay with it. Beautiful. Give me one more right here. Nice and slow. Push. And lower. Hands go behind the head. We're going to translate this into a crunch. Up for 2. Here we go. Lift for 2 and lower for 2. I'd like you to press those elbows out of your periphery, mostly here. Yeah. And rest the bulk of your cranium into your hands. Stay with it. Lift for 2. Exhale. Lower and inhale. Perfect. We've got 2 more right here. Last one. We're moving back into those bridges, taking those hands by your side for singles as we lift and lower. Lift and lower. Keep it smooth and controlled, okay? 4 more. Wonderful. You've got your last 2. Moving into crunches for singles. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. You are so strong, and you are almost there. Just 4 more. Well done. Coming back to lie down, hugging your knees into your chest, and taking a big, big breath. Rocking those knees from right and left, releasing through the glutes and the low back. And as we begin to rock forward and back, rocking onto the entire spine. Good. Give me one more rock here before you come all the way up to sitting. Perfect. that was our first workout in beginner strength training. Each week we will do different moves so that by the time you're done with the 8-class series, you'll have done all of the foundational movements that usually make up a dumbbell workout. So you'll have a lot of options. Every week will be something different. I hope to see you next time. I'll be teaching this class on Mondays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you miss me, you can catch the recording. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.